My sister called me selfish in front of our entire family on Thanksgiving, and honestly, the thing that hurt the most wasn't the word. It was that not a single person at that table looked surprised. Like they'd all been waiting for her to finally say it out loud. Let me back up. I'm 27. My sister Rachel is 33. She has three kids, Aiden who's 8, the twins Maya and Luca who just turned 4. Rachel got married young, had Aiden pretty quickly, and then the twins came along right when her marriage started falling apart. She's been divorced for about 2 years now, and I genuinely feel for her. I do. Being a single mom of three is brutal, and I've never pretended otherwise. Our parents live about 40 minutes away and they help when they can, but dad's got a bad knee and mom works full time still at 61, so they're not exactly available around the clock. That's where I come in, or where I used to come in. I live about 12 minutes from Rachel's house. I work remotely as a graphic designer, and I think because I work from home, Rachel has always assumed my schedule is just flexible, like I'm sitting around in pajamas waiting for something to do. The reality is I'm on calls half the day, managing client deadlines, and trying to build something real for myself. But to Rachel, working from home means available. Over the past 2 years since the divorce, I have watched her kids probably 70 to 80 times. I'm not exaggerating. I actually went back through my texts once and tried to count, and I stopped at 60 something because it was making me angry. Some of those were emergencies, sure. A pipe burst at her house, a school called because Luca had a fever, stuff like that. But most of them, date nights, hair appointments. I just need a couple hours to breathe. Brunch with her friends. A weekend trip to a cabin with some girls from her gym. That one was 3 full days. And in all of that time, every single one of those occasions, Rachel has never once said thank you. Not once. She's never offered to pay me, never brought me so much as a coffee, never even sent a text afterward saying, "Hey, I appreciate you." The closest I ever got was her saying, "The kids love hanging out with you," which honestly felt more like a justification than gratitude. Like she was doing me a favor by letting me babysit. I also want to be honest about something. For a long time, I didn't say anything. I just let it build. I smiled and said sure and swallowed every frustrated feeling because I didn't want to be the person who kept score with family. And maybe that's on me. Maybe I trained her to expect it. But then came the week before Thanksgiving. Rachel called me on a Tuesday night around 8 p.m. I was in the middle of a project with a deadline the next morning, a full brand package for a client paying me $3, 200, which is a big deal for me. She said she needed me to watch the kids Wednesday all day because she had a thing. I asked what the thing was. She said it was a spa day that her friend had gifted her for her birthday. Her birthday had been 3 weeks earlier. I said I couldn't. I told her I had a major deadline and I literally could not step away from my computer. She got quiet for a second and then said, "Can't you just set them up with an iPad or something? They're easy." And that sentence, something just broke in me, because her kids are not easy. Aiden's going through a phase where he argues about everything and the twins need constant supervision. Last time I watched all three, Luca got into the bathroom cabinet and dumped an entire bottle of mouthwash on the floor while Maya was screaming because Aiden took the remote. That's not set them up with an iPad territory. I said, "Rachel, I can't. I need to work. You're going to have to find someone else." She said, "Like who?" I said, "I don't know, a babysitter, someone you pay." And then she hit me with, "Wow, you're really going to make me pay a stranger when you're sitting at home doing nothing important?" Nothing important. $3, 200 contract. My career, nothing important. I didn't yell, but my voice got tight. I said, "I've watched your kids dozens and dozens of times and you've never once thanked me. You've never offered me anything, not gas money, not dinner, not even a thank you text. And now you're telling me my work isn't important. I'm done, Rachel. Find someone else, not just for Wednesday going forward." She hung up on me. I sat there for a long time just staring at my phone, heart pounding. Part of me felt free. Part of me felt like I just detonated something I couldn't take back. Wednesday came and went. She found someone. I think our cousin Bry watched the kids. Rachel didn't text me. I finished my project, delivered it on time, got paid. Life moved on for about 5 days. Then Thanksgiving happened. We were at our parents' house. Everyone was there, mom, dad, Rachel and the kids, our brother Kevin and his wife, a couple of aunts. It was fine at first. Normal. The kids were running around, the food was good, I was actually starting to relax. Then during dessert, our mom casually mentioned how nice it was that I always help Rachel with the kids. Innocent comment. She meant it as a compliment. Rachel put her fork down and said, loud enough for everyone to hear, "Well, she doesn't anymore. She told me she's done helping me. Apparently watching her own niece and nephews is too much of a burden." The table went quiet. I felt my face get hot. I said, "That's not what I said and you know it." She said, "You said you were done. Those were your exact words." Kevin kind of shifted in his seat. Mom looked at me with this expression that was half confusion, half disappointment, and it was aimed at me, not Rachel. That's what gutted me. Dad just stared at his plate. I tried to explain. I said I'd watched the kids almost 80 times in 2 years, that I'd never been thanked, never been offered anything, and that she'd called my work unimportant. Rachel rolled her eyes and said, "You don't thank family for being family. That's what family does." My Aunt Linda nodded, actually nodded. I said, "Family also says thank you, Rachel." She called me selfish, right there with pumpkin pie on the table and the kids in the next room. She said I was selfish and that she'd remember this when I needed help someday. I left about 20 minutes later, hugged the kids, said goodbye to my parents, drove home, and cried in my driveway for 10 minutes. In the week since, Mom has called me twice. Both times she's gently suggested I be the bigger person. Kevin texted me once saying he gets it, but that Rachel's struggling and maybe I could meet her halfway. Nobody has acknowledged the no thank you thing. Nobody has said Rachel should have been more appreciative. It's like that part of the story doesn't exist for them. Rachel hasn't called me once, hasn't apologized, hasn't asked how I'm doing. She did post on Instagram about knowing who your real support system is, which I'm pretty sure was about me. Here's where I am now. I miss the kids, God, I miss them so much. Aiden's been texting me memes from his mom's phone, and it breaks my heart every time. I don't regret setting the line, but I wonder if I did it wrong. Maybe I should have had a calm, private conversation months ago instead of letting it boil over. Maybe I should have said something the 15th time instead of the 78th. And maybe snapping on the phone and saying, "I'm done," going forward was too much, too final, when what I really wanted was just to hear her say two simple words. I genuinely don't know if I handled that right. Part of me thinks I waited too long and exploded when I should have spoken up sooner. Part of me thinks no matter when I said it, she would have reacted the same way. I'd really like to know what you all think. Tell me in the comments.